That beat was dope.
Yo, yo, yo.
What up? What up, Monk?
What up, dog?
How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm living good, man. How about you?
That's good, man. That's great. Everything's great.
That's
Yo,
good, man.
what's
Can you hear me
funny?
good?
What's
Can you hear me
funny is
fine?
that what's funny is that last time I was in Abu Dhabi and we did this on Hidden Gems,
Yes.
and it was like what 4 in the morning.
Dude, you were so tired, man.
I was trying. I was really trying, man. But that was a great interview.
It was,
If
man. That
you
was a really good interview, man.
Man,
hmm
if you haven't checked out Hidden Gems, please. This guy got a lot of dope MCs from the DMV area. I mean, really, really great conversations and really great interviews. All right,
Thank you,
so
man.
let's start, man. Let's start.
Let's
Let's
do
start
this. Let's
this.
do
As
this.
you know, for those that come to Fresh Convos, we always ask. First question is, where are you from?
Got it. I was born in DC, by my mom and dad, and then of course, and then shortly after, like at the age of 2, I went to Fairfax, Virginia. And that's where I lived the rest of my life, Fairfax, Virginia. So yeah,
Wow, that's
yep.
amazing. What's your background?
I am. So I just learned recently, but I'm half Spanish and half Asian. But I was raised by an African American household. So yep,
Wow,
yeah, and I'm half Laos. My mom was Laos. So yeah,
wow. I always thought you were
yep.
Filipino. Like,
You always thought I was Filipino. I never gone Filipino, but yeah,
wow, that's dope. That's dope. So let's start from the beginning.
sure.
What was your introduction to hip hop?
For
Which
me,
groups
I
and
would say,
MC?
yeah, I would say for me, like at the age of 5, the core of my hip hop beginnings was with my uncle Brian. He had these shoe boxes of like Nike cassette tapes stashed under his bed, and I would go into his room and just listen to all his hip hop cassette tapes, from like Kraftwerk to the Fat Boys, KRS One. He had everything, and he had like his closet filled with like these milk crates of like the Fat Boys and like Rakim and EPMD, everything. So I would say it all started with him at a young age, and he embraced it. He let me listen to all that music, and that's kind of what started my love for hip hop and kung fu flicks. He had a whole stash of like Shaw Brother kung fu flicks too. So yeah, I gotta give it to him for my kung fu love. So
Yo, that's amazing. That's like, that works well together. Kung Fu flicks and hip hop. Was it tapes or was it like
it was the
records?
VHS tapes. Yeah, the VHS tapes. Yep.
Okay, so you saw a lot of videos,
Yeah, like
like
a lot of
rap
Shaw
videos.
Brother. Yeah, a lot of like Shaw
Oh,
Brother
Shaw
movies.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
hmm
yeah. Love the Kung Fu joints. And then every Saturday, like, they had like Kung Fu shows. Word.
Right.
Do you remember what hip hop groups like, your very first hip hop group that you're like, wow, this blew your mind.
I know like I had a love for being him. Used to have a love for Just Ice. I was a big Just Ice fan through him, and I would say Mantronics. Mantronics was like kind of like my favorite group back then, growing up. And Kraftwerk. Those are like my two that kind of like really like made me like love hip hop. I would say, you know.
Right, right. That's dope. That's dope. Um, I want to get back to something. Your
Let's go.
background.
Yeah,
Your background. So you swear you're not Filipino, right?
I'm not Filipino, brother. Not Filipino. Yeah, my mom is Laos. So shout out to my Laos peoples. Yeah,
Laos. Wow.
yeah,
And you lived all your life in America, right?
yeah,
In
yeah.
the
I was born
States.
and raised in VA, DMV area. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been back to Laos or to
No,
Laos?
no. I really need to go though. I really need to go. Really need to go to Laos and see my peoples, man. Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be dope, man. Word. Once this craziness goes, once this craziness this
man.
flies by, hopefully, like, and get back to traveling. Word. What school did you attend?
So I guess like based off my hip hop stuff, I would say like the years that really like developed me was like middle school with I went to Luther Jackson, and that's kind of like where hip hop picked this up back up for me. And then I went to Oakton High School from there, whitest school ever, man. And then from there I went to the whitest school ever. It was hard to love hip hop in high school, man, but I found a way.
You found a
I found a way, man. Through like five people, I made it work. And then from there, I went to Nova Community College and pursued a degree in journalism. So, yeah.
Oh, dope. That's real. That makes sense.
Yeah.
In journalism. What inspired you to become a b-boy?
So that goes back to middle school. I would say it wasn't taken seriously for me when I was in middle school. You know, I was chilling with the Asians and they were like breaking to Raquel. You remember Raquel, Joey? You know, like they were breaking to that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, they're breaking to all that stuff, and like they weren't really taking it that seriously. I started going to this store called Mr. Rags, and Mr. Rags was this hip hop store in Farrell's Mall, and the owner there will always play like these VHS tapes from Mighty Four, Freestyle Session, Program, all those like legendary events, and that really kind of is like what made me like appreciate the art form of b-boying. You know, when I got to high school, I met this kid named Brian Song, and he kind of like started this breakdancing club and took it real seriously from there. And he saw me rapping with my boy Bobby, which I want to get to later on, and he wanted us to join his breakdancing club because we're hip hop heads in high school, and that, just like I told you, it was a white school level, so like minorities kind of had to like clump close, you know. So from there, Brian started this crew called HRC, and it's standing for Honey Roasted Chicken. Yeah, Honey Roasted Chicken. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, man, like from there, like you know, like it was like six of us, me, this dude named Aaron the Impaler, Phil, Cubonics, and some other dudes that were in that group, and that's kind of what started my b-boy lifestyle, I guess you could say.
Oh my gosh, that's dope. Yeah. So that was in middle school, right?
That was in high school. That was my sophomore year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my sophomore year in high school. Yeah, that's what started everything for me.
That was your very first b-boy crew.
That was the very first b-boy crew that I was part of, called HRC. Yep.
HRC. Wow.
Yep. And we went to this like a little story about that. Like we went to it didn't last so long for us, man, because we all got in this car. My crewmate named Phil had this car that was like he bought from some auction out in DC, and he got it for like $20, right? And inside the car, there's like bloodstains in the car from when somebody got their brains blown out, and I guess it didn't detail the car correctly. So we're going out to Alexandria to my first b-boy event, and we got shredded by this crew called Fusion Force, and yeah, it was just a piece of the humble pie, man. And that's what started the whole thing. Yep.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yep.
Crazy, like. So then what happened? Did you make it, or you made it?
No, we lost the first round. We got eliminated. I was holding the camera. I was recording the whole thing, and I was just watching my boys get shredded. Doing the microphones, like, these guys suck. Get them off the floor. Oh, man, it was so embarrassing, man. I'm like sweating bullets. I'm just crying the whole time. But from there, that's kind of what started the whole thing. And then from there, like, everybody started taking it real seriously. And then everybody made moves and started moving up into dancing. Besides, I guess you could say besides me, I started doing other endeavors and other things. So.
Okay. Well, it's all right, man. Like, everyone starts off like that. You mean you have to get booed, you know?
Oh yeah, you gotta get roasted sometime, you know. So
you gotta get booed sometime. Trust me, we've seen me and Seed while we did the Rule 4080 events. We've seen people get booed, but then after they blow up. So like, you know, I mean, it just happens to everybody. Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So tell the people, who are the 39s?
Man, so I would say that there's two phases of 39s. There's probably the 39s that you guys know. There's the 39s that I was a part of. So at its core, I'm gonna try to break down the best way I can from what was
Okay.
taught to me. 39s was a hip hop, non-traditional hip hop crew used to redirect hip hop energies created by Deep and Low Key. They met at the legendary Freestyle Union that has been talked about numerous times on my podcast, and they had these bylaws that everybody will follow to give direction. The original members of that crew were Low Key, Deep, C's Mikes, Dynasty, Max Beats, and I want to say Tiger, and then also Level One and Alex. Rest in peace to those two. So that was the core of 39s. They Low Key was like, man, there's I could speak so much about that guy, man. But he did a lot of things with that crew. He did work. He did I think he formed the first writers bench at the Coffee House in '96. And yeah, which I think you're familiar with. I think you kind of brought that up in your interview. Yeah. They also did the night at the Andalou. I want to say they did for 5 years, and they did 5 different shows on WNCU with the night schedule. They did like three house shows, 2 hip hop, and then one was like a mixture of like all varieties of music and stuff. And they just did like a lot of community work, a lot of food drives. There's a lot of things I can go on with the original 39s. How I got put down with 39s was Quick 2 and Craft of the Natural Elements crew wanted to keep dancing at the time, and so they got the blessings from Low Key to rebrand it. I want to say in 2008. I know Phil's in here, so that's when I got put down, and it was a whole different ideology from what was created originally. So
right. So they were a mix of they were a mix of everything, right?
Yeah, it was b-boys, graffiti heads, rappers, poets. It was everything. Yeah.
Oh, that's
And the
real.
whole crew, pretty much at its core, essentially what they were trying to do was benefit the community, do a lot of work, for the community, but also empower one another. And they had chapters in Ohio because Tiger moved down to Ohio. They had chapters in Philly, New York, and DC. And they reached to like they reached a number like 200 members, I want to say. So it was a lot of people. Yeah.
Yo, it was so funny because we'll get into this later, but when we met Deep, like I didn't realize we met Deep in DC. Like I really met Deep in New York.
Okay.
I don't know. He'll probably be mad at me for this, but like I remember meeting him in New York.
So you probably you remember seeing him when you look back at it? Do you remember seeing him?
I kind of remember, but it was so much going on.
Yeah.
So much going on, but like when he told me, he was like, "Yo, I met you guys at Freestyle Union." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh, word, that's dope." So I mean, but like I really got to know him in New York, and yeah, man, it's weird. It's like our circles like intertwine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
It's crazy. And then when like I'll mention this, like when I saw you two interviewing, when you interviewed Deep, right?
Yeah.
And I was just by like, I didn't even know what was going on. I just pressed on it and I was like, oh. And then and it was just like, yo, we're just talking about you. I'm like, what? It's crazy, man. That's crazy.
It is crazy, man. It's a small world, man. It's definitely a small world, man.
I mean, DC DMV is small. Like, I mean, if we didn't meet each other, then I know I met someone from your crew.
Yeah.
It's just like had to and then of course it'll come to fruition later, just like meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all right. Who are the Underdwellers?
Underdwellers was a crew that I first started with my boy Bobby Strickland in high school, my junior year. I was rapping back then in high school, and I was battle rapping. More importantly, I was battle rapping, and me and him were like, he was a straight up backpacker. That dude was a straight up backpacker, and had me believing in nothing but Aesop Rock and all those abstract anti-con people and everything. Just had me listen. That's all I knew. You couldn't put any radio stuff in my head. I was so ignorant back then, But they created a crew called Underdwellers, and what it stood for at the time was, being, under the scene, under the radar, not refusing to raise up, to conformity and stuff. And so I did that for about like up until my senior year, because he moved to Denver, Colorado, and I kind of lost his like motivation after he moved, like to stop rapping. So I rebranded that back in 2012 and created kind of like the fundamentals of 3 9s, but in my own kind of way. With there's a group of 9 of us, and it was Lyrics, No Vajan from Vinyl Therapy, Bruna and Wonder Kid, who I'm going to talk about later on. C Note, my boy Ziad, and then we had a photographer. His name was Adriz. He was like our visuals guy, and we were doing like a lot of hip hop shows and projects. And it was a short-lived group. We lasted about 3 years, 4 years, I say. But we did like 8 shows together with Educated Consumers, Substantial. We worked with a lot of people. We did a show with Homeboy Salmon. So we did a lot of stuff together. And all those guys are making moves now. So it was like a catalyst for like, bigger moves for all of them. Lyrics now is part of a group called the Yoks. I don't know if you heard them. Yeah. And then C-Note had like a song, I believe, on Netflix. And one of them also, Lyrics also had a special on Netflix called Bad Raps. And then Noah's doing work with terminology right now too, so he's making moves. Everybody's doing moves now, so it's kind of a beautiful thing. Right. That's been, from kind of that thing, that group.
So, wow, I never knew you MC'd.
I MC'd in high school.
MC, or do you
I don't MC no more, man. Those years are gone, bro. Those years are long gone.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, did you? Of course, you recorded music.
Yeah, actually, me and so he went by Fred Backwards. We created like 5 songs together, and I might have them somewhere on SoundCloud. I'll probably send it to you. But yeah, we definitely did like some music together, recording in his basement, in his mom's basement. We were doing tracks, So yeah,
that's dope.
I
gotta hear it.
Yeah, I'll send it over to you, man. It's like the ultimate backpacker kind of style. So yeah.
And that's fine, man. Backpack. I mean, backpack is in right now, so
apparently, yeah, man. Apparently, it is.
It is. It's somewhat in. So, I mean, yeah, I'm curious to hear it. I never knew you were an MC. That's really dope. And it seems like you've also b-boyed, right?
I b-boyed for a little bit. Once I got sick with lupus, I kind of had to like cut back a little bit on the dancing. But I mean, don't take. I was never like the dopest dude ever. I never was. I never got to that point in my dancing lifestyle. It was more so the people that I rode with and the people that I built a brotherhood with, that I rode with, and that's what kept me glued to the b-boy culture and the b-boy scene. And I think your next question will probably lead into how I, did that part. But yeah, I never really was like the best b-boy. People can tell you that in my camp all day. So
it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. At least you've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I think every MC has b-boyed before, like had to. They just felt it, and if they weren't even that good, it's still like it's still represented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Wow. So basically, you said you stopped because of
I developed at an early age. I was going through a lot. In my personal life. I lost my mom at an early age. I was in 6th grade. I lost my mom. Then 2 years later, I lost my dad. So like, I got really sick. With lupus, and so I was sick for a minute. And I'm my boy Prolix can probably vouch for that. He's up in here right now. It was a rough little time for me, man. Rough little patch. So I had to find a way to like rebrand myself, because I still love hip hop, so I started getting into producing, DJing, and then doing events. And that's kind of what sparked that whole, really jumped me off, was doing like the event coordinating and promoting. So
right. Nah, see, that's what's dope. That's what hip hop is.
Yeah.
If you're not that good in graffiti, you can be good in b-boying. If you're not that good at b-boying, you can do other things, like you can get into brand. I mean, into promoting. Yeah, that's just very dope, man. I respect that. You you keep going with the culture, that's not going to stop you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I had to find a ways to rebrand myself and keep it moving, you know. So
Um, okay. So let's talk about the competitions. You organized events, right?
yeah, yeah. I think I would say 2002 is when it all started for me with the b-boying competitions. That's what started the whole, you know, humble pie of like doing like b-boying, you know, hip hop events. It was a jam called Last Man Standing 2 at the legendary Lee District Center, which was called the Zone back then. And it was like in a shoebox room. It was a very small event, but it packed out like no other. It was so packed that people had to be told to go home because the place was so packed that night. And it was all done by word of mouth. You know, it was we were handing out flyers, we printing out flyers, went to different high schools, passed them out. You know, we were contacting the top b-boy crews to come out in the area, and they came out. And people threw down, and we had exhibition matches set up, and we had a little MC ciphers in the corner. There was a crew called Cab Crew, Iron Man and his brother, Great Matter Vincent, were the DJs that night. And that was like probably like one of the most memorable events I had, hands down. It's my favorite event. It's an iconic event for me. It set in motion all the friendships and brotherhoods for me, and the alliance with different b-boy crews. That's how I got to meet Stealth from the ATD crew, and
Right.
yeah, so it
Like
was really
it's
good night
crazy.
for me. Yeah,
And you're talking about, and this is in, y'all, this is in the DMV area,
yeah. This
right?
is in DMV. Yeah, this is in Virginia. Yeah, it's 2002. It's called Last Man Standing. We did two of them. We did the second one in 2008, and that's how I got introduced to Low Key. You know, so you know, everything is kind of linked to one another. You know, I met Low Key in 2008. This promoter wanted to do an event with me and collaborate, and it ended up being like a nightmare in disguise. You know, based off that whole event. You know, Low Key only wanted to work with me, and we created like this partnership. And you know, I also met Prolix. They're doing the b-boy jams, and it just the rest is history, man. So
That's
yeah,
awesome. I
yeah.
mean, what sparked you to like make the event? Was there any other events that was going on that you're like,
Yeah,
wow?
so yeah, it's cool you bring that up, man. I got to give a little bit of love to these two. Fresh Mama and Daddy-O were doing an event back then called Breakers of Light, and my cousin used to take me out to those events too. You know, not knowing like all the things that happen behind the scenes, I would say those events were like um very influential for me. You know, like seeing all those big names come. They were flying out, b-boys from all around the world, and I was like, damn, I want to do that. You know, I was like, I can do that, but I want to put my own flavor on it. I want to put my own twist on it. So I would say that kind of was a big motivator for me. And then you know, having my mentors, you know, talking about Raw Materials. You know, Raw Materials was another iconic event that went down. That was thrown by ATD, NEC, and 39s. It's a staple event. So I would say those kind of events kind of like motivated me to do what I did.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great, man.
Yeah.
That is great. Wow. Um, okay, and you also promoted hip hop artists, right?
Yeah, so I did all the Unbreakable events. I did the last one I did. My last b-boy event was in 2010 up at George Mason University, and I met this guy named Mex from Florida who passed away recently a couple years ago. Rest in peace to Mex. And we had kind of had like this talk with, you know, it was like a talk with him about like just doing hip hop, you know, and like this rebranding. Like he always wanted to like expand out and do more. And I kind of was on the same path. So I talked to my crew. My crewmate Quick 2 was like, hey, you know, you gotta do hip hop. You don't gotta be confined to the b-boys. You know, that's not what 39s is about, you know. So I got his blessing. I just started expanding out and doing like actual hip hop shows. So I started to involve graffiti artists doing live artwork, and I started working with Substantial a lot, educated consumers, and that's kind of what started the whole reach out to me working with Deep. I wanted to know who my past elders were in my crew. I was like, I want to know these guys. I want to get to know them. You know, like I want to reach out to these first generation people and work with them. And I hit up Ben Bugs and Deep, and yeah, I mean, I can honestly say that like those two were like mentors to me, and brought all the New York heads down to VA. Peace of the Earth Song King and all them cats, you know. So yeah.
Oh, that's real dope, man. That's real dope.
And I also got to give I'm sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I also got to give a big shout out to Man by Star Records as well. They were a big piece of my expansion over to doing hip hop shows. That's how I got to meet Cannibal Ox and so many Louis Logic and all those cats. Was from Man by Star Records, and that's how I started working with Impulse and everybody. So, got to give my flowers to those guys too. So,
word. So, like, you just expanded. Expanded out, man. That's real dope, man. Let's talk about your mixtape series.
Okay.
You have one with DJ Cannon.
Yeah. So, you know, the funny thing about that, so Cannon's a dude from New York, or from California, that moved out to New York temporarily. We were on a hip hop forum board, and we've just always been friends, kind of. To this day, I've been doing mixtapes with that dude since 2002, and I've never met him. we have never met face to face. It's just we just do all of our work just like as we're doing right now. We do the live thing, and we talk. We just work. I do my mixing, or I do my part, send it to him. He does his magic, and then he sends it back. But Chill Like a Villain was like a mixtape series that we've been doing for the past like 15 years. We're on number 11, coming out the end of this month. And it's pretty much just smooth, laid back hip hop with no noises and shit on it. It's just straight smooth blends all the way through, man. So yeah.
Where can people listen and find your mixtape?
Yeah, if you go to Bandcamp, just type in Clav, CLAV, and you type in DJ Cannon Monk, will pop right up on Bandcamp. And I'll be posting a link soon on the my Instagram with the new volume coming out soon. Yep.
Word. Like, what do you play? Like, what kind of mixtape flavor?
I would say it's a mixture of underground hip hop and mainstream hip hop, but it's smooth hip hop, laid back hip hop. That's the rule to it, though. The rule is it's gotta be smooth and laid back. You know, so that's the theme of Chilling Like a Villain. So
word. So y'all had to check that out on Bandcamp, right?
Yes, sir. Bandcamp? On Bandcamp.
Okay.
Yep, Bandcamp.
Word. Monk on Bandcamp. Talk about Monk. Where did the origin of your name come from?
The origin of my name goes all the way back to middle school. I was in art class, and I knew this graffiti writer by the name of Tex, TEKS1. And he was like trying to always get me to draw and get in trouble in class. And he was like, yo, you bald, bro, and you Laos. He's like, you a monk. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm a monk, bro. He's like, it makes sense. He's like, you bald, you Laos, and it's easy to write. The letters flow. So I was like, all right, fine. So I started doing Monk, tagging Monk everywhere and getting in trouble in school. My dad beat my ass when I got home. And yeah, but that's the start of Monk, man. And then like all my homies were like, yeah, this dude's like super nice, like a monk too, like just always humble and like super nice and shit. So the name just kind of stuck there. I just started saying Monk all the time. So yeah, it just kind of stuck through my homies. I guess you could say the name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. That is great. Who are some of your mentors that are responsible of what you're doing now?
Okay. Man, I gotta give it to like 5 guys in particular. The obvious one being Low Key, and not just on the level of like teaching me hip hop. He taught me life stuff. You know, like when I was going through it, man, he kind of opened my mind and just went on deeper levels of life stuff, teaching me to like read books, gain knowledge, giving me fundamentals on life, really structuring me, making me think before I act. I can allude a lot of that back to the principles and ideologies of Low Key. Just taking me under his wing and meeting the people that I did through him was a life changer. Like I wouldn't be close to the NEC heads if it wasn't for Low Key, which kind of led to me also having mentorship to Disco Rob, I would say, and Vortex are other 2 dudes that kind of helped to, shape my mindset and the way I think about things on a hip hop level. Those 2 kind of, developed me, I would say, a lot. On some life stuff, I would say Craft and Quick 2 are also some mentors I've had of mine. Though those guys, you know, they taught me how to like carry myself with dignity, you know, and like empower me to like be careful of my actions and really build like relationship with the community. I can attribute to those guys to not screw people over as a promoter, to like, you know, pay people. Like, you know, y'all would tell me like, yo, just because that dude's your homie don't mean you don't get shit for free. You pay that dude, you pay him more. I learned those things, you know, like those when you're young, like you don't have no structure, those
Right.
lessons are valuable, you know, like, and I think I can attribute a lot of my good promoting skills to all those guys right there. And then the last person would be Frost, who ran a company called Out of Breath Entertainment, who was also affiliated with NEC back then. He taught me the ropes of like throwing events, like the structure, like investing in sound equipment, like not doing anything under, like don't do anything less, overdo it, you know. So I give all those guys like my praises and mentorship, you know, in life to those five guys.
Really
Yeah.
dope.
Mm-hmm.
Those are important. Those are important keys you got to have to be successful at events.
And I would even say Ben Bugs and Deep. I would say those guys are mentors as well too, because like when I was going through my whole hip hop showcase, like dealing with rappers and MCs and DJs, those guys like taught me a whole nother realm of like, yo, B, you can't be doing hip hop showcase. Or that dude's a clown. Don't ever hire that dude again. Or just like advice, you know, like just every day, you know, on the setups and stuff. I got to give it to those guys too. So.
Word.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope. That's a lot. That's like those are really important keys, man. Actually,
yeah,
that's really dope. Mentors, man. Let's talk about your show, Hidden Gems. Right. What inspired you to create that show?
COVID straight up. COVID all day. I gotta give it to COVID, man. It's like a blessing in disguise, you know. I've always wanted to. My whole life has always been about community. Everything I've done has always been to uplift the people around me, and make everybody around me better people. You know, so I've always had this mindset of like I just didn't know how to like put it on paper to document the hip hop scene, and I felt like COVID forced me to get out of my comfort zone and do what we're doing right now, and just really like document the scene. You know, I feel like there's so much history here, and there's so many voices that don't get heard that I wanted to try at least make an attempt to document it in my own way. And there's so many good dancers, so many graffiti writers, so many b-boys, rappers, you know, DJs, everything. You guys, I didn't even know about you guys. You know, honestly, I wouldn't know about the Amphibians if I didn't interview Deep, and that's what led me to, you know, being hit to you guys, you know. And learn about how great you guys are, you know. It's just crazy.
That is so crazy. And your history as well, my brother. It's like, it amazes me right now. It's just like, wow, you actually did this. And it's just like stuff that I haven't experienced or seen before, but known it was there. It's good to know and get the knowledge of what was happening during this time. You know what I'm saying? Or that time, because it's historical.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I mean, your contribution to hip hop in the DMV is just extraordinary, man. Like I'm just like, wow, man. It's just like, I mean, ours too as the Amphibians, of course, we did like open mics, and you know, it was about community as well. And then just like dealing with the Freestyle Union as well, being part of Freestyle Union. That was real dope, and meeting a lot of MCs from the DMV area all coming to one place. It was nuts, because you know, you come there like, all right, yeah, I'm a dope MC, you know, but then you see see different MCs, dude. And you're like,
but you know something though, Joey, I gotta give the Amphibians like their flowers too. You know, I gotta say like the one thing that's commendable from my point of view with you guys is that you guys have remained like a cohesive glue through all these years. You know, we're in 2021, and you guys have been holding it down, what, since 93, I would say? 93? Is that how far you guys go back?
Yeah, was 20 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, you guys are still like that's a beautiful thing, man. You know, like crews break up after like 5 years. You know, it's
Oh
what you guys
yeah,
do is amazing to me. You know.
it's been a while, but I mean, we've I mean we had growing up to do. That's what it
Yeah,
was. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, and we have now. You know, and hopefully of what we're doing and putting back, putting out music of that time and then bringing out newer music after, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So we
yeah,
gotta, I mean, we like, I inspire you as well because you're a writer, you do events, you know, your crew. You mean people have to know about your crew, you know what I'm saying? And what you did and what you've done as far as like b-boys events and stuff. That's all important. All of it
yeah,
has to come together, because at the end of the day, not a lot of people know about DC or DMV hip hop. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So it's important for us and everybody in this chat right now to to represent,
yeah.
especially during COVID, because like we started the amphibian thing during COVID too. So I understand completely. How did you get the name? Like, where did you come up with Hidden Gems?
I just kind of like it is to me. This made sense. You know, like it's people that remain like not talked about, forgotten, maybe have untold stories, untold truths. You know, I just feel like everybody's a gem, you know, in their own kind of way. Everybody should shine, you know, and
Right.
you gotta take those people that are underneath the scene and make them shown, you know. Nobody knows what you talk about it. That's the way I feel, you know. Like everybody has their truths, you know. So that's why I say
Right.
hidden gems. Yeah.
That's real dope. Tell us, for those that miss Hidden Gems, who are some of your who are some of the artists you interviewed?
Oh, you guys, I'm gonna interview you. DJ RBI was a really good one. DJ Rags, the Paint Guy. Tony Blackman, I got her story. That was an amazing story from her. I was nervous on her story, man. Oh man, I was so intimidated. She's such a nice lady though. Like, but that was one of my favorite ones. The Toxic of the Lab Rats, Stealth from ATD. I got his story. A lot of people were interviewed. Did 30 episodes so far. So I got season 2 coming out later on this year, hopefully. Got more people down the pipeline. So yeah.
There you go. I was gonna ask you if you're gonna continue Hidden Gems.
Definitely am.
Like,
I'm going to be putting up some more amphibian heads to talk to and get the story. So yeah, best believe it's going to come down. Yeah, I really want to talk to Steve and other people. Yeah, Dior, Ashley.
It's
Yeah,
like 30 of us, man. But yeah, definitely. That's real dope. So y'all have to check out Hidden Gems when it comes back.
Yep.
We're on
And
Spotify, on IG.
yeah, and I just bought a new camera too, so I hope to get like an actual book made and photograph everybody and translate all that words in actual book and make it, different volumes of Hidden Gems as well. So be working on that soon. Yeah.
Real dope. Yeah, I mean, you interviewed a lot of people from like different, I mean, MCs. You got B-boys, DJs, you know what I'm saying? In the DMV area.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, it's just like there's so much. There's so much gems hidden. And that's freaking great, man. Yeah. When does season 2 come out? And
I'm hoping by April. I mean, I'm kind of busy, doing my musical projects right now for this year. Right. So, and then balancing work, I'm doing like doubles at work. So it's kind of like hard trying to balance everything right now, So I'm hoping April. I want to shoot for that. Then I'll start getting into the gears and making that happen. So yeah.
That's real dope. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Let's talk about Deep.
Okay.
How did you meet Deep? He's from Two Hungry Brothers. He has a radio show. They got a radio show, and they're dope. These brothers are dope.
Yeah, so
these brothers are dope, but like Deep.
I met Deep in I met Deep in Ben Bugs. I could honestly put him, put them together, met them both around the same time, because I hit up low key wanted to know who the past 39s members were, and I started to make it a thing to reach out to them. And what made me reach out to them was I saw their album on what was it, Sandbox Automatic, and I bought that album, and I was like, reached out to them, I was like, hey bro, I was like, I listened to your album, I know you're in the same crew 39s, like I would love to work with you in the future. And the rest was history. He's like, yo, you bought that album? He was like, you bought that album? I was like, yeah. I was like, what's wrong? He was like, nah. I'm just surprised, man. He's like, you actually bought that joint? I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, what the hell? Typical Deep. D, man. Deep is a very sarcastic dude. He has a very unique sense of humor, man. You either get it or you don't. Whereas, like, Ben Bugs is like a teddy bear, nicest guy in the world. But those guys, man, like, they really like taught me a lot about doing hip hop shows. A lot. Like I owe almost everything I know from doing a hip hop show to those two right there. Because every time they came down, like I wasn't intimidated, but I was just like, making sure I came correct. Because they were bringing artists down that they were working with every time we did a show. So I met different personalities, different styles. P Soda Earth Some King was one. K Gaines was another person I met through them. Yeah, there's so many people I met through Ben Bugs and D, but that's how I met them though. Was just reaching out to them, asking low key about the previous members, and yeah.
Big up to Ben Bugs. He's in the chat right
What's
now.
up, man?
Yeah, I knew them brothers. Me and my brother did a show called The Lifeline in New York, and I think it was like on West 25th Street. It was a place called Benny Cafe, and what was dope is that it was just crazy. Just everybody just came to this place, like Deep and bands, and then you had like Sound Minds, and you had people like Stronghold. So almost everybody, like in the underground hip hop scene just came there, and we did something different like we did in DC. We had like live instrumentation and open mic. Right. And just remember meeting Deep for the first time again. Let me say again, because I did meet him in DC, but I forgot. But like so met him again, and like he was rapping. Like he was emceeing at that time as well, and he introduced us to a lot of cats up there, and it was just so dope. And then seeing like the two Hungry Brothers out there putting out like Homeboy Sandman and other cats out there, just seeing them perform. That's just like wow. They're like everywhere, and it's just like they DJ. You know what I'm saying? They make music, they got records, and I'm proud of them. It's just like, just
oh, hell yeah, man.
Every time I see them, I'm just like, wow, these guys are doing it, man. And then
they are definitely doing it.
And then what? They related to you.
Yeah, I'm like their son, I guess.
That's real dope. It's just like, full circle, man. Full circle.
It is. It is.
Like I said, how I met Monk, I just went on this show and they were talking about me, and I was just like, what? What's going on?
I mean, that's how I met you, man, through the Deep interview, man. That's how I met you. I was like, yo, the Amphibians. I was like, that name sounds dope as hell. I was like, I gotta meet these guys, man. And yeah, sure, I hit you up, and the rest is history, man. Yeah.
Crazy. Let's talk about your instrumental album that's coming out in October.
Nice.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Wonder Kid, who's in here right now. So I met Wonder Kid. Now it's at the Cannibal Ox show, and he was just close friends with the people that ran the show, Count Fifth and Impulse, and I just saw him. I was like, yo, that dude looks familiar. So I went up to him. I was like, and like the first thing he did was like, yo, you want to buy my album? I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, yeah. I was like, cool. So I gave him like $10, and I bought it off him. He was so like humble, bro. Like I was like, yo, we'll keep in touch, man. We'll keep in touch. And so we did. And I listened to his album. I was like, yo, this dude's got so much talent. he's such a sick producer, and I was making beats at the time too. But like I just fell in love with what he was doing with the swing team projects and stuff. So fast forward, we started building over the years, and we formed the Underdwellers crew that I was telling you about. He was part of that crew, and he put his cousin, our close friend Buna, down with the crew as well. Once we disbanded that crew, we still kept in touch. And Jamil, and me have been talking for years about doing this instrumental album called Black Opal. And without giving away too much before we, really, mass it out to everybody, because we kind of keep a lot of it in the tubes, But the main thing is just playing off the idea of overcoming negative energy and bad vibes, and coming from darkness and into the light. And that's kind of playing off the Black Opal on a spiritual concept, and that's kind of what the album is going to be beat-wise, starting dark and then shifting over to a positive spectrum. So that's what Black Opal is, and that's what we'll be giving to you guys. We're going to be working with DJ Rags and my homegirl in Japan, Radiel. And then we have some other people as well doing live instrumentation on it. So it should be a good little project we got coming out for you guys. So
that's dope. And
yeah,
you releasing this in October, or?
That's the game plan. I mean, we're trying to shoot from around there. Hopefully everything, but we more so want to go at our own pace, so we give you guys a solid project, So
right.
Yeah.
And are you making beats on this joint?
This is gonna be production beats. Shout out to he's in here right now. Jamil's in here. It's gonna be beats, but we're gonna be also incorporating DJs and performers as well. Like my boy on the bass, Dominic, is gonna be doing some bass lines for us and stuff. So we're trying to give you guys a little something different, kind of like a live feel to the album. Yeah.
Well, looking forward to that. Just let us know.
Thank you. We'll do. Yeah.
As far as so you're putting this instrumental album out. So are you a producer on this joint?
I was. Yeah. Well. Yeah. For this one, me and Jamil we're doing it together. But I would say for this project, Jamil is going to be more so on the mechanic side, doing a lot of the production value of it. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's real dope. Well, y'all look out. Y'all look out.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope.
What would you like to pass on to the youth that want to do what you do?
Man, you asked me this question. I was thinking about it. I was like, if you want to get into the promoting game and on the b-boy aspect, I would say my biggest advice to youngins would be to learn how to communicate, understand your demographic, ask questions, get to learn the people that are coming to your events, and making an effort to build a bond with everybody. I think the reason why a lot of my b-boy events were so good is because I wanted what they wanted to see. So after I did the first last minute standing, I made an effort to thank everybody. I made an effort to find the people that I saw at the jams and get their opinion. Like, hey, look, what didn't you like? What did you like? What can be better? And just, learning your history, learning the people, get a good DJ. You got to get a DJ that knows the music. You can't just get some clown that's not going to know how to play a beat, man. You want to talk about murdering your event, get a bad DJ. So just know your community. Do your homework. If you don't know, ask somebody. Learn. That's how you really make a good event. And if you want to do a hip hop show, I say follow that same formula, man. Get to know your community. Ask artists, what works for them. What kind of mic setup do you want? What kind of DJ setup does your DJ want? What's your budget? Because you don't want to have a reputation of being a person that doesn't fall through with the money. I've been blessed, fortunate with my crew. If I came short, I still owe some of my crewmates to this day, but I've never owed anybody outside of my crew, money and things like that. So there's a lot of advice I can give, but, I just feel don't act like you know everything. Don't act like you know everything, because you don't. At the end of the day, we're all students. We're all students to this culture. Even the OGs are the OGs are like students to this culture, and we can learn something from the new kids too. You know, I'm learning something new from these new b-boys coming into the scene as well. You know, Kurt, you know, Ray Ray, and all these new kids that are coming in. The illusion. I wouldn't say that. Correct me if probably it's called illusions. I want to say, but these new kids, man, they're really special, man, and we gotta appreciate them too. You know, like they're really making moves and they're doing their own thing. You gotta sometimes let people navigate their own way too. You can't just as an OG can't be like, oh, that's whack. Right. As time evolves, like the things that you guys had in your day, we don't have anymore. You know, we can't be busting out, you know, hip hop stuff in the clubs no more. They don't like that shit. You know, like you guys were like in a very like pure era, like, you know, like, which I'm so jealous of that you guys were a part of. You know, like I would love to go into a club and just start breaking it. You know, but it's not like that no more. And people just gotta know, like,
it isn't like that. Yeah, you're totally right. You just dropped a lot of gems, my brother, right there. For real. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You gotta see what people like, especially nowadays. Everything is different. Even in hip hop, the way people rap and stuff. Like, you know, you can't sound like, you know, Kumo D anymore. Like, you know, because then people will be like, "Oh my God, you sound old." You're like, what?
Yeah, man. I just feel like I guess like if you're a young guy, you want to know, you gotta ask, and I feel like you should ask, but don't feel like forced that you have to ask. I feel like the repercussion also with like asking so much information is you don't end up being yourself. You end up being like somebody else. So you gotta take the good with the bad. You know, you gotta be your own person. So that's what I would say. And I feel like OGs need to do a better job of like, you know, learning from the new kids too, you know, like open your mind a little bit, you know, stay young, you know, learn, you know, like I'm learning all the time from these young guys, you know, like Doom. I see Doom in here. Doom is like my little brother, man. I learn from him all the time. You know, he makes me wise, you know, and I see him come a long ways. You know, progression is everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Word from the wise, man. That's dope. I mean, people have to realize, like, you know, you can, like, of course, bring back memories. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can film it. You can, like, you know, even make art out of it.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, this is from what we had at this time.
Yeah.
But just to keep going on and on, being the same, it doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. You know, I got one more advice too, and I'm thinking about it while I'm on this one. Don't do everything yourself. No matter what if you're in the promoting game, do not do everything. You cannot do everything yourself. Like, I'm so thankful that, you know, my boy Quick 2 told me, build a circle that makes you a better person. You know, you got to have a circle that's going to want the best out of you. You can't be around people that just feed off you doing all the work. It's not going to work. You know, you got to have a team, a solid team. I've been blessed to have a team of people that, you know, put me in check. Like my man Paulus is like an anchor to me, man. Like he's my sidekick, you know, like my events wouldn't be there what it would if I didn't have Paulus on my side, help me out. So I would say form a good circle and stick with that circle and never let go, you know. And also that being said, if somebody's effing up, get them the hell out, you know, kick them to the curb, man. You know, it's all about building, you know, moving up. That's how you do it with the team, you know. So,
word.
Yeah.
There you have it. More wisdoms, more gems from this, from Monk right here. No wonder your name is Monk. Got that knowledge, man, for real. Let's talk about this. DC, right? DC has a lot of history. What would you like to see unfold from your experience?
I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you, man. I feel like because when I stopped doing the B-boy jams, you have people like Words Beats in Life, which is a really good organization, that kind of have already kind of like incorporated what I wanted to see. So I feel it's already being done, but people need to like try to look for it, you know, and find them, you know. But Words Beats in Life is doing it, man. They do the Kennedy Center events with graffiti artists on a magnitude level, like something I could never do. They have like some of the top graffiti artists out there. They have the b-boy scene out there. They have performers out there. Like they're doing it. And I'm kind of jealous. Like damn, I never did like that, you know. But on the flip side to it though, like I want to see more of like the organic kind of events, you know, the ones that are like very like intimate. I feel like that's how you get the raw stuff.
Right.
The raw things are in the confinements of things. So maybe not all the time it has to be grand. You know, I want to see more like what you guys at the Kappa House, or like, you know, when you guys are coming up, that intimacy. You know, like, I want to see more of that. You know,
Mhm.
including other elements. You know, so that's what I want to see, me personally. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the stuff that you did, of course. I mean, you could do a documentary. I'm just saying, you know, it's, I mean, you know, yeah, there's a lot of events now that's
Yeah.
good, that it's better. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to
Hmm.
see that because you
Yeah.
want to see it evolve. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
From what you did. But it was just like, you know, there is some sort of inspiration from what you did at that time
Yeah.
that made them do what they're doing today. So I mean
Hmm.
that's great. It's okay to be jealous, man. You know, I get jealous all the time. I'm just like, oh, jealousy. Word. What other passions do you have besides what you do? Besides hip hop, let's say.
I'm really like just like hobby wise, or like
Yeah, hobby
what am
wise.
I into? I'm
Yeah.
really into film, really into art. I love the art scene. I love photography. Um, I love playing chess. That's a little hint out there. I love to play chess. If you guys play chess, come at me, man. I love to play chess. That's my thing. So that's like my therapy right there. Yeah, big chess player. Not even like because of Queen's Gambit either. Like I was playing chess before that, but yeah, I would love to play chess. That's like my a good hobby of mine. So I'm a big comic reader because of Deep and Prolix got me into comics. So I would say I'm a big comic head as well. Love the comics, man. Big comic
Oh
reader.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to
I'm a
stop
nerd at
because
heart, man. I'm a nerd at heart, man. Yeah.
I had to stop because it's either vinyl or comics. You know, I can't have
Yeah. Obviously,
both.
I definitely dig as well. I definitely dig in the craze. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Got a nice little
Mhm.
collection piled up. Yeah. Thanks to Low Key. So
The word Chakra Ashram said Coyote versus Monk. Yeah, we have a member named Coyote who really plays chess a lot. So
that's awesome, man. Shout out to Coyote, man. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
man. Word up. All right. Where can people find you? And where can people find you, like, you know, on social media for hidden gems, your mixtapes, and music that's gonna come out soon?
I would say follow my Instagram page. Follow Monk39. I just follow me right now. You can follow the Hidden Gems podcast directly in the description. It's on Spotify if you want to hear the audio versions of it. Um, I'll be posting up details shortly on the second season, along with the information on the book as well, and probably doing some road trips to get pictures of all you guys. You know, so that's coming down the
I'll be down
pipeline.
there soon, actually. So yeah,
Yeah,
but I'll talk about
yeah.
that. I'll talk about that soon with you.
You did photography
Later.
too, right? Didn't you do photography as well?
Yeah,
You didn't see
I
it?
did photography for Rule 4080 in New York. So we did a lot of New York events, shows, a lot of music shows. We met a lot of artists too. It was real dope. DJs, you know. And I took it was funny because I started out with like a little Sony camera. It wasn't even
Mm-hmm.
an SLR camera. So the other photographers were pissed whenever I like go to take pictures. But I really worked that joint because I learned all the functions and whatever the magic that I put out. And then when people saw it, they were like, "Oh my God, these are great photos!" You know, so that kind of inspired me to like, you know, take pick more pictures and more pictures while I was in New York. And then when I moved to the Philippines, I did the same thing as well. Like, you know, took pictures of the scenes and like I really like, you know, just taking moments. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There's
yeah,
moments you can capture with your just eye and just like, wow, I just caught this, you know. So I mean, I'll get back into it soon after this COVID thing because you know there's really nothing to take pictures of now. Everything closed, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
You can Sabrina. So yeah, you can. I'll be posting some music really soon on my Instagram page. In the meantime, though, you can follow me on the Underdwellers on SoundCloud to hear some of our old stuff. But I definitely have some new stuff coming out. I'm gonna be working with a spoken word artist named Lady L. She's based on California, but moved out to Japan. So I'm really excited to be working with her again. And that's gonna be some fire that we'll be doing. I got my project coming out in October. No events, unfortunately, until COVID ends, man. So
Right?
yeah,
No event.
yeah, no events, man.
Yo,
This is an event
you
right here, though.
mentioned Cannibal Ox through this
Yeah, yeah.
interview a lot. I have a story, a quick story, and
All right.
I'm embarrassed to say it, but like, you know, so me and my brother Don, Trevor, we're called the Butterfly Dragons. We were going out, you know. My brother likes to rap. He would like to rap everywhere he goes. We went to NYU. They were there, so there was a battle. So my brother was like, "Yo, let's go battle these dudes," you know. And so we battled Cannibal Ox. Well, we lost because they were known and we weren't. But they loved Philly because Philly got at Vortal. And till this day, every time I see Vortal, he's just like, "Yo, I just remember that battle, man." I don't know. He's like, to be truthful, I don't know if we were supposed to win that joint, but yeah, your brother was getting in. I was just like, wow, man. Like, till this day, whenever I see him, like, just see him on the street and stuff, just like, wow, man.
That dude's a big dude. And he's a really intelligent dude too. Like that dude's very smart. Yeah,
he is an intelligent dude, and like, you know, just great. Just a great dude overall. I'm just happy he tells me this every time I see him, and like, you know, it's just like, I'm just like, yo, you guys are Cannibal Ox, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But that was a dope moment, like, you know. But hearing how like people like Philly affected people, even in that kind of situation, that was just amazing. It's amazing, man.
Yes, sir.
And
Long
you're
live Philly,
amazing,
man. All
man.
day.
Yo, we're expecting to hear a lot more music, you know what I'm saying? And the hidden gems. And yo, man, we're here for you, man.
Thank you, man. Hey, I gotta say thank you to you, and thank you to the Amphibians family for giving me my flowers. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time this has been done for me, and I'm glad everybody got to hear my story. You know, it's been a beautiful feeling, like letting this out and telling everybody about it. So it's been an honor. So
Right. That's great, man. Yo, and thank you very much. All right. Next Wednesday we have Drew Kid. He's dope musician, Drew Kid, and remember to go to amphibians.com. Got fresh convo shirts, amphibian shirts and stuff. And what else? Oh yeah. Volume 2 is coming out soon, called Heavy Water. That's coming out soon, so look out for that. And also, Slim Cat 78 will be on next on the Amphibians Live for Wax Wednesdays. All right, and thanks for everybody that came here and saw this interview. This will be on YouTube as well, and yo, we'll connect soon, man.
Definitely will, yo. Love you guys, man. What's up, everybody? Peace.
Yo.